Hey Sagittarius, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm sorry I'm getting this out to you guys so late. I've been really busy. So, this is your astro weather forecast for June 2018, and what a month it is going to be. I pulled 2 cards for you guys to get this kick started as far as what your focus is going to be for the month, and I got planting seeds and taking action. These 2 go very well with what I'm about to describe for the astro weather. First of all, the taking action, definitely Mars. Mars's name is all over it, and guess what? Mars is going retrograde this month. It's going to officially turn retrograde on the 26th. Doesn't do this but every 2 years, so it's a big deal. Mars is our vitality, our action, our courage. Without Mars, nothing would get done. Very important planet in astrology. One that gets things done, literally. It's going to be retrograde until August 27th, 2018, so it's going to be quite a while in your 3rd house of Aquarius. It moved there officially on May 15th, and it's going to be there all the way through August 27th when it moves direct motion from Capricorn back through Aquarius again. So this is going to be there all the way through September. Okay, so this is a strong focus, and why I'm really focusing on this, because Mars is just the energy, like I said. It's courageous, it's bold, it's daring, it's fearless. It's the sign, the planet that rules over Aries, which is a sign of just do it. Stop talking about, stop thinking about, just do it. You guys are a fire sign, so you guys will work really well with Mars, and you could probably use this Martian energy, and you're going to really love it, okay? Now, for you, it's in your 3rd house of communication, in the sign of Aquarius, communication, but also local travel, siblings, computers, technology, the way that you get information to and from, or the way that you get anything to and from. So with Mars there, you just got to be careful about being a little too abrasive in terms of communicating, because we can be impatient, direct. This is also overactive mind. Your mind can be going 1,000 miles an hour. This is Mars, pure warrior energy, all in your house of communication. This can also point to the fact that you might be traveling around a lot within your local neighborhood, maybe a lot of paperwork, a lot of communication, a lot of dealing with siblings. All these things will be triggered, and it will be where you will be approaching things directly. Now, you can get a lot done, okay? In terms of work, for those of you that work for yourself, this can be a very busy time in terms of you just working with clients, communicating, phone calls, texting, emailing, paperwork, all that stuff. It's definitely a good time to go, like if you're in sales, to make those calls, because you're going to come across very direct, fearless, and you're going to make a lot of them. Otherwise, it's really good just for taking action. The 3rd house is also your immediate environment, and learning, early learning and stuff. So you could be researching, reading, writing, talking. Just, I see a lot of action coming in for you guys. Now, when Mars turns retrograde, it's going to be a little bit different, okay? Because when planets are retrograde, not only are they going back to the past and bringing things back, revisiting, refocusing, but Mars retrograde is really about strategic actions. When Mars is direct, it's just about go do it. Like, just get up and go do it. And yes, a lot gets done because we need to take that action. It's awesome. But sometimes we can go too quickly into something that without pre-planning, or just out of haste or whatever, and make mistakes. So, should this be the case, when Mars turns retrograde, you're going to have an option to revisit the way you were going about doing things. But more importantly, Mars retrograde is awesome for planning, okay? And retrograding in your 3rd house of planning, thinking, it's like revisiting how you're thinking, speaking, along with any type of, like I said, sending messages, emailing, all that stuff. You're going to be reviewing how you've been going about taking action in these areas. Now, this can also be cars. Be careful while you're driving. You could be anxious, frustrated, feeling blocked or something while Mars is turning retrograde. Along with Mars direct motion, because it's driving, we tend to be aggressive. Mars is the warrior planet. So there's a lot of activity going on for you guys, a lot of action. You're going to be really direct and confident. Mars in the mind is awesome because it's all about just believing you can do it and taking that action, going for it fearlessly. And it makes you feel kind of an elevated status of like, you can do it. You can do anything. You can do whatever you want. You're able to do it. You feel good. You feel strong. So that's the big news for this month. But along with that, we also have Neptune turning retrograde also. And this is in your guys' 4th house of home in Pisces. And this is going to be on the 18th. Neptune will turn retrograde, and it's going to stay retrograde until November 24th. Now, retrograde motion for Neptune has a different effect as well. It tends to unveil things. Being in the 4th house of home, for instance, you can deal with water pressure issues. Sometimes when Neptune is direct, water pressure is very powerful, and then it turns retrograde, and water pressure miraculously starts to halt to a drip. That's just one example. Neptune rules water and in home pipes, stuff like that, leaky faucets, leaks in the home. But it's really about really establishing a sanctuary in the home environment. You want to be yourself. You want to be comfortable. You want to have your little spiritual areas in which you can meditate. And, Neptune is really about wanting peace at home and finding that ultimate place that you belong, that home of homes. It can make you have idealizations around home, your ideal home, wanting your ideal home. Neptune is very good at illusions and fantasies and stuff like that, so you can feel like it's difficult to focus at home. But Neptune retrograde is going to, going to move some of you might move. Some of you might go through fixing water issues, water problems. Some of you might find out that you have one. Some of you can reorganize, restructure your home, make it more cozy, more comfortable, more nostalgic, more peaceful, serene. Serenity is all over this. But, some of you can even visit old childhood neighborhoods and stuff like that, going down memory lane with retrograde in the 4th house. So you can expect a lot of that going on. Juno is transiting Aries along with Amor in your 5th house of love and romance and self-expression and creativity. Juno is the asteroid of marriage and commitment, and Amor is about love. So this is definitely going to be bringing about feelings of wanting to be in love, wanting to have a relationship, but also attracting them. You can meet a very significant partner with Juno transiting here, especially along with Amor, which would be very awesome. Now you guys also just having to add to this nostalgic, dreamlike fantasy land is Jupiter transiting your 12th, which can bring about strong spiritual inclinations, fantasies, illusions, daydreams, but it tends to keep you optimistic so that no matter what you're going through, it's kind of difficult for you to get down and out about it. Now, Jupiter is your ruler, and you guys are optimistic anyway, but you have been going through some difficult transits ever since Saturn went through Scorpio in your 12th, then through your 1st, through your sign, and now Saturn is in your 2nd house, restricting, blocking your house of money, but also refining and asking you a very important question is, what is your work worth to you? How much do you value your work? How much is your work valued? along with what it is you do. Do you love what you do? Are you giving more than you take than you get? Are you are you satisfied with the way that you make your money? You can go through a lot of transformations in terms of making money. The second house is not only the earned income and the money that you work for in your job, but it's also about acquisition and acquiring things. And Saturn is blockages, restrictions, and boundaries, tests, trials, and hard work. So you're looking at having to put a lot of work, hard work, into finding your value, finding how much your work is worth, setting your prices, setting your expectations of yourself, and setting boundaries as far as what it is you're willing to do to make your money. Are you fulfilling your greatest? Are you fulfilling your emptiness through the way that you're through the work that you do? Are you finding fulfillment in it, I guess is a better word. But you can also, after Saturn's retrograde motion, he'll be retrograde until he's going to go direct in Capricorn on September 6th. So still got a couple of months here of him retrograding, going back to revisit how you're making your money, and also opening up new opportunities, but also allowing you to cut back on costs, save money, especially if you're cutting back on costs. So you are going through rebuilding and restructuring there, but relax, because Saturn rules the 10th house of legacy, fame, and career. So he knows what he's doing. He definitely can restrict to make you push forward, to work harder, to push your limits, to see what you're able to do and capable of doing. You also have Pluto there. Pluto has a whole different ballgame. Pluto is breaking down and building up, and ups and downs, and are you valuing yourself? Again, this is all about self-value. What are you worth? What are you, are you giving what, are you giving what you are worth to others? Are you expecting others to treat you with respect? All these things. It's all yourself. It's your values, your valuables. So you can be getting either more conservative, researching your values and how you really feel about things, and spiritual inclinations and religions, are all things that are Saturn ruled, but definitely becoming more conservative and refined. So now the Sun and Mercury are transiting your partnership house in Gemini, which is always fun. Mercury is all about communicating with friends and social groups and socializing, and partners. Can also bring partners across to you, some possible love opportunities. This is especially true with Juno and Amor transiting your 5th house. But the Sun makes you confident and shine. So you come across this way with partners, with people that you meet. People like you. They find you sociable, likable, positive, like the sunshine. So this is really good, having the Sun transit there. You can have a focus on partnerships, relationships, and perhaps even looking for love relationships. Venus is transiting your 8th house in Cancer. This is other people's money, banks, institutions, credit cards, loans, government money. Also has to do with sex, intimacy, the merging of resources, secrets, hidden things, taboo subjects, stuff like that. So Venus here definitely can increase your income, get you some extra income that you weren't expecting. Some of you can get more back from your tax returns. Some of you could get approved for credit cards or loans. They can give you, increases. It's a good time to apply for a loan. It's your partner. Also, those of you involved in a relationship or married, you can see benefits coming through a partner. Your partner can receive benefits, but you definitely usually get an increase. Money comes to you. Now, this is whether you're working or not. If you're working, then this money can come to you through your business clients. If you work for yourself, you can even get a raise at work. But however it's coming to you, you definitely see extra money with Venus transiting your 8th house. It also makes you very attractive. You got a lot of sex appeal. You'll notice people are staring at you. Venus here is really good about using that sexual magnetism. You can attract partners as well. You attract money. You attract all the good things that life has to bring you here, so definitely enjoy that. It's good for intimacy, sharing of the resources. Like I said, your partner can treat you if you're in a relationship. A lot of benefits coming from partners, business partnerships. The same thing goes for you guys that are in a business partnership. You can benefit from your business partner. The North Node is transiting your guys' 9th house. This is all about higher learning, expanding, learning. This is your guys' house. This is about learning through experience, learning through study, learning through trying it, doing it. And it's in the sign of Leo, so it's all about taking that step out on your soapbox and saying what it is, experiencing the things that you have been wanting to, but maybe haven't, traveling, going back to school, furthering your education, all that stuff. And let's not forget good old positive, expansive Jupiter, your ruler, is in your 12th house, making your dreams come true or bringing on that positivity, optimistic feeling, but can be very daydreamy and whatnot. And we have a new moon this month in Gemini on the 13th. And that's in your guys' partnership house, love, marriage, committed partnerships, and close friendships as well, and business partnerships. So a new moon here definitely opens up new doors for opportunities to find a love partner, a marriage partner. Also, more time spent with friends. Some of you could be exiting out of a business partnership and starting a new business partnership. Some of you could be exiting out of a relationship if it's no good for you and you haven't been happy. New moons are about endings and beginnings, but they definitely stir up a lot of activity. So there's a lot of action going to be going into your partnership houses. So for those of you looking for a relationship, this is definitely a good kickstart to a love relationship, having a new moon there. It's also really good for beginning new relationships of all types, close relationships, being social. Some of you could be ending contracts also, starting new contracts. This is the house of contracts, agreements, marriage partner, stuff like that. Some of you could finalize a divorce. There's just a lot of different things, but your relationship house is going to be activated. So you want to think things through on this new moon. And if you are in a relationship and you want to put it to an end, make sure. And in a business partnership, something can be uncovered and you might want to end that business partnership. It doesn't have to necessarily end an actual real physical relationship. It could be the ending of an old way of doing things and a new way of doing things becomes apparent. So we're also going to have a full moon in Capricorn on the 27th, and that's at 9:52. And Capricorn is in your guys' second house of money, so you can definitely receive some money on this full moon. Now, that's just one of the ways that it can come across, but you can also get an illumination or something that you've been working on can culminate and come to fruition on this new moon, something that maybe you started on last new moon. Now, full moons are definitely illuminations. They are enhanced emotions. We can uncover a lot of things that were hidden from us, things we didn't know, things in our subconscious. But typically, on the positive side, a full moon in your second house can bring about extra money. But also, new ideas and new ways of making money can definitely come to you as well. On the 13th, Venus will be leaving your 8th house of other people's money, banks, institutions, credit cards, loans, government money, all that stuff, your partner's money. So until the 13th, when it's going to change signs into Leo, it's going to go into your 9th house of higher learning, expansion, and all that stuff, travel. So some of you might be traveling later on in the month, or going back to school, or just researching, investigating, learning new things. It's all about learning. The 9th house. It's all about expanding what you know. And you guys love to do that. You guys are very farsighted because of your knowledge that just is in you. But there's a couple of days where you might want to just be careful if you are in a relationship, or if you want to have a discussion with somebody important to you. Be careful on the 5th because Venus will oppose Pluto. This can be a stressful moment too, just because Venus is going to be in your 8th house of other people's money and Pluto is in your 2nd house of money. So this can be something dramatic over money. It could also be something very positive about money, big money coming to you. You could actually demand money on this day. But in terms of relationships, Venus rules our partnerships, and our relationships are in diplomacy. And with Pluto opposing Venus, we can be all or nothing, very demanding, high maintenance, like I want this and I want this now. Just be careful should you start feeling that way and it's something that might be important that you want to be careful about. The other day is going to be when on the 21st, when Venus in Leo is going to oppose Mars in Aquarius. And this is because this is just the two astrological lovers. This can point to conflict or fights within partnerships or lovers, between relationships. Doesn't have to be, but you can be more aggressive too and less diplomatic or confrontational. So just be careful on these 2 days. They look like the really main difficulties possible or stressful aspects. The most romantic day is actually on the 2nd of June, coming up here. Venus in Cancer will trine Neptune in Pisces. This is also going to be very good for money for you guys on the 2nd, because Venus is in Cancer in your 8th house of other people's money, and Neptune is in Pisces in your 4th house. So there can be something coming through financially from a family member. But otherwise, it's a very romantic time. So definitely try to plan your dates or anything accordingly on that day if possible. So Mars turns retrograde on the 26th. You guys are going to be, going back over old territory in your house of thinking and communicating and local travel, all that stuff. And on the 29th, Mercury is going to move into Leo, joining Venus in your 9th house of long-distance travel, higher learning, and expanding your horizons. Okay, and this can also be travel too, so you guys could plan to take a trip or take a vacation. Definitely, you should do so while Venus is there. So yeah, the month looks really good for you guys. It's definitely going to be very active with Mars in your 3rd house. You're going to be feeling very courageous. You guys can use this kick. You're going to be very direct. You're going to be able to speak your mind. Not that you guys have a problem, but Mars just tends to make it so you're less fearful of doing so, and you have enough courage to just kind of go after whatever it is you want. And this is true with 3rd house because it is your local environment. It is all about what most businesses are about. Technology, computers, writing, communicating, all that stuff. So your business is going to pick up, work's going to pick up, you're going to be busy. You might be doing a lot of driving. There's a lot of stuff going on in your house of money. You're getting financial benefits with Venus transiting your 8th, which is totally awesome. It's good for intimacy too. So yeah, this first part of June is going to be fantastic for you guys. And then the later part of the month, it's going to still be great because you're going to have things happening in your 9th house, which is an awesome house. It's your guys' house, ruled by Jupiter, planet of luck and abundance and happiness, and which happens to be in the sign Leo, which is ruled by the sun and is all optimistic and good. So you guys are going to be feeling really good this month. All right, well, I'm very happy to convey these messages to you guys. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please show your support and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed and would like to, be sure to click the bell if you'd like to get notified of my uploads. Otherwise, you will not get notified of them. And yeah, I am wishing you guys a fabulous June, and I hope to see you back in July 2018.